So we're back here another Saturday building this truck. This Saturday, I'd like to get all the front suspension done so I can get my rims and tires on and make essentially the front of my truck rolling with tires. So in order to do that, what I've done is, in my previous videos you saw that I got rid of a lot of rust that was on the input shaft of my rack and pinion. So that's right here, that's ready to be installed today. My drop spindle is right here. This drop spindle I got from Porterbuilt Fab. This is a 2.5 inch drop spindle. If you've seen in my previous videos, this drop spindle, it had gotten a lot of rust over it. So I had sent it down and had it sandblasted and powder coated. I happen to have some more of the ultimate chrome powder coating, so I just used that chrome. I had it powder coated and it basically turned out to be like a really nice medium silver color. So we're gonna run with this drop spindle right here. I also took these upper A-arm brackets and I sent them off for chrome. So I had these chrome. These are originally just regular polished steel. It's like a flat color and it looks like it's been milled, is the look that I got from Porterbuilt Fab. Since now that I have this chrome, this piece is going to sit right about here. When I go to install this, I already know that this piece is going to need some shims behind it to correct the camber of my front tires. I just went down and bought some shims from Summit Racing. I'm gonna put these shims in now. I know that seems maybe counterproductive, but I already know that my upper A-arm needs to be shimmed out. You can see in a lot of my videos where I'm raising the truck and lowering the truck with the airbags. And you can already see when I go all the way up, I've still got a very aggressive camber that I want to try to get rid of. So I'm going to put these in now, not because I'm trying to correct the camber, but I just want to put them in so when my alignment guy aligns this, he can actually remove shims and he can also add shims in between the shims that I have here without scratching the powder coating or without scratching the chrome work that I just had done. So we're gonna put shims in today. With the upper A-arm mount and the upper A-arm, which is right here, this has been powder coated and I've already installed the upper ball joint. So this will be sitting right about here when this is done. With the upper bracket chrome and with the upper A-arm installed, I can go ahead and install my 2.5 inch drop spindle. Not only am I gonna do that, I'm gonna put my bags in today. These are my bags. I got these from Porterbuilt Fab. These are the Firestone brand bags. They seem to be doing real well. They've got like a PSI rating of, I think, 250 pounds. So with that said, this 90-degree port is made for the 1/2 inch threaded MPT port that I have right now. However, when I went to go buy the air management kit, I couldn't buy a kit with a 1/2 inch setup. The biggest size that I can get right now was 3/8. So this piece right here is going to bolt into the 1/2 inch port right here, and it's gonna transition to a 3/8 airbag line. I'll be putting these in to the bags today using this Loctite 565. Now this was all provided to me in the kit for the airbag management that I just bought. It's 2 pumps, it's a tank, it's an air management kit, so I'm starting to use some of those parts from that kit that I already bought. One of the other things that I'm going to install today are both of my shocks. You can see here with the Porterbuilt Fab, they gave me a upper shock mount, which I've already installed previously when I mocked up this build. I got the other side in. This shock is going to mount right up in here into this hole right here, and it's going to mount into this lower shock mount that's already included on the lower bag mount. That's what they're calling this. This isn't a lower A-arm to Porterbuilt when you put this together. This is actually called the lower bag mount. This is the upper bag mount, and this right here will be the upper A-arm. So I'm gonna be bolting these in today. So with the bag in right here, this guy right here, with the new port, the inlet installed, and having the chrome upper A-arm bracket along with the A-arm itself right here, I can then put in the 2.5 inch drop spindle. So let's talk about brakes. I've gone ahead and I purchased a whole brake setup for this truck. I bought a 4-wheel disc brake set, and I end up buying it from CPP. There are a lot of brake companies out there. You can get Willwood, you can get Bear, you can get CPP, and there's a lot of other names that you can get. When it comes to brakes, what I found out is you can spend as much as you want to spend. If you want to spend 5 grand, 8 grand on brakes, there's a company out there ready to sell you a kit for 8 grand. I actually didn't have 8 grand, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to step up the braking potential of my truck because I'm increasing the motor size. This thing originally had a small block 350 with I think 12-inch rotors. That was the stock configuration. When I drove this truck under the 350 with the brakes, I thought it stopped great. So now that I'm putting a big block 454, I wanted to step it up. What that means to me is I went ahead and got 4-wheel disc brakes. So we're stepping it up just by having 4-wheel disc brakes. The next thing I did was step it up to a larger brake caliper size that you see right here. Now I picked up this package through Summit Racing, which have been great to me, and I picked up this package from CPP. When I bought this package, I actually took advantage of the Hot August Nights 10% off. When I bought this brake setup at the Big Boy Toy Store, which is sponsored by Summit Racing, I was able to save, I think, about $150 because I requested that the 4-wheel disc brake kit not include the drop spindles. I had already had a set of 2.5-inch lowering drop spindles from CPP that came with my Porterbuilt Fab drop member kit. I did not need the spindles, so I asked Summit to reduce the cost, not sell me the spindles. So after I made the purchase, saved up $100 and something, about 100, 120, 150, I forget, and saving the 10%. And then of course I got a little bit of savings just on the tax. That brought the whole kit down significantly with all that considered. Well, I've now received the brakes. They were shipped to my house, and when I got them, they've been sitting in boxes. I've just recently unboxed everything so I can start putting this all together. And what I found is that CPP actually included, it actually included the drop spindle. I don't know if you can see that right here, but the drop spindle was already included. So here's the problem. I can't use this drop spindle. This kit from Porterbuilt Fab, when I bought this drop spindle, they gave me this bracket that they said would fit most brake kits, including the CPP brake kit. This kit right here came with bolts, and this bracket right here, it mounted on the back side of this drop spindle. And this would hold the brake caliper. Looking at the way this is set up, we can see that if I was to use this with this CPP brake caliper and bolt it on here, you can see that these holes don't match up with this brake caliper setup. So man, I got lucky. I got real lucky. If I had actually got this kit without the drop spindle, I wouldn't have gotten these brackets right here. And if I didn't get these brackets, I'd be stuck with this bracket right here that doesn't work. Well, just one thing I want to show you. I can't really believe it, but here it is. Like I said, I got this 2.5-inch drop spindle from the kit that I purchased from Porterbuilt Fab. 2.5-inch drop spindle. Then I ordered the brakes at the last Hot August Nights and got the 10% off. I also had Summit Racing. They actually took money off because I wanted a kit without a spindle. And I had told them that I had bought the spindles already with my Porterbuilt Fab kit. So the guy at the Big Boy Toy Store, he actually got on the phone with CPP. They took off some money and sold me the kit. The kit came, I mean, you know, a couple weeks later, and it had been sitting around. Now I'm opening it up, and if you look at this, this is another 2.5 inch drop spindle. Totally identical. This would be the passenger side that I just had to remove the hub and put it on mine. This right here is the driver's side that I haven't installed yet. And as you can see, these spindles, they're lining up. They're lining up. This is a 2.5 inch drop right here. Wow. I really wasn't expecting that. I didn't expect CPP to actually give me, I guess in the videos that I just recorded today, I just assumed that this was just a, you know, factory spindle. That's what I thought this was. And it is not that at all. It is identical to my 2.5 right here. So same brand. I guess I just have an extra set of drop spindles and brackets. So I'll be getting rid of them. You'll be on Craigslist soon. Okay, now I've got everything bolted up pretty good. The bag is installed. Those bolts have been tightened up. I also got the shock in here. I still need to tighten these two bolts right here. I got the upper A-arm installed with the upper A-arm bracket that was chromed. Bushings have been put in. They've been also pre-lubricated, and I've bolted this down. Like I said before, I put in my shims now, make it a little bit easier to remove shims or even add a shim by wedging it in between these other shims. I did this because if I just mount this with no shims, the guy that does the alignment, he's going to want to jam shims in here, scratch my chrome, scratch my paint. So I've gone ahead and done this for now. You see I got my Zerk fittings in. I got the Zerk fitting caps for those. And right here, I've gone ahead and I've gotten the rack and pinion bolted in. I've got the tie rods now bolted to the spindle. I had to take off the, let's go right here. Okay, here's a perfect shot right here. Okay, so this is my 2.5 inch drop spindle. So I needed to remove this hub off of the spindle and install it onto my spindle here by taking off this cap, removing the castle nut and the cotter pin, swapping this hub to mine, and then reinstalling all that stuff, which is in the video. And then I went ahead and put on the disc brake, and the caliper went on next, and I was able to just get this bolted up just like how it was intended. Wow, look at that, it's beautiful. I'll just put in the video, just playing with it.